Okay, so I literally just shot a 20-minute video showing how this whole thing works, and it didn't work. So I'm doing it again. I'm going to try and do it quicker. Long story short, we have Microsoft To Do, which is a pretty awesome program that is free, and you can basically get it on your phone and your computer where you can see your entire reading list for each subject once you've imported it in the way that I'm about to show you. Rather than have to add everything manually. So the way that you generally do this is you can create a new list. You would say, for instance, I'm saying it's a human rights law, and it is my reading list. I'm just creating a separate one right now, and it comes up here. I can also drag this into where I want it. I want it right above the class. It is not number 2, it's number 4. So you can edit it up here. So it's class number 4, my reading list. And I can also add a little emoji. I'm adding a folder because a folder helps me differentiate between them. And I know that there's a bunch of documents that's in their folder. Fancy that. Cool. So then, to basically get it to show up like this, where we have hashtags, which means that we'll be able to organize them based on what they are. So we can basically like hide things or show particular things. So I can say like it's a reading that I want to look at, and it's also a I don't know, an article or a book or something like that, and I can add a hashtag for those particular things. Or if there was a series of the same book like this, but amongst other books, I can maybe add a hashtag for the author or something like that. Whatever's convenient for you. This one is all the same, so it's not particularly helpful in other subjects. For instance, like I've got assessment, but yeah, here, for instance, I have listed these are the things that need to be done for the class. Read the guidebook, watch the lectures, go to the seminar, attend the seminar questions. So I have even a subtask here, do the discussion questions and go to class. And then, yes, there are other questions I need to basically answer that may not actually be attempted in class. And so we've got different hashtags depending on those things. And like I said, you can basically like search for those particular hashtags. Let's just go to CVP, and it's only going to show those things. You can also see that some of them are marked off as completed, which is cool. And you can add things to your day. By clicking it like that, and it'll basically show up here. You can have a series of different things on a series of different lists, all basically done in that way. So I just created the human rights list reading. There's nothing there, and I would really like to be able to import the list that I have created previously that looks like this. This was the entire list of the different subjects I had, and then I had basically moved it into another spreadsheet over here. And then I sorted them out and I separated them based on the subjects, just by basically highlighting that. So I have the entire human rights law list here, except this first week. I should actually get these, so I'm just going to add 3 lines. Oh my god, I have so many programs, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll do it the easy way and kind of show you what I did. So back here. These are the 3 lines I need, and they need to be put into that folder. Put them here. You can see one is at the end of the list. I don't want that, so I'm just going to sort them, sort and filter smallest to largest, expand the selection. Great. And I have only got the prescribed books here because I don't really want any other information. I'm going to delete those. And cool. So this is the entire citation for all of these subjects that I have. That was way, way, way too wide. I'm just going to let it be. It's going to be what it's going to be. Don't get in its way. So I do want to use this information as a hashtag. I think that'll be useful. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to put it over here. So cut shell. I'm going to... nope, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to create a hashtag for that. So just put a hash before it, and then I can simply click it, double click that, bam, they're all on the side. So it'll basically say hashtag chapter, etc. I'm just going to delete these in case it causes conflicts with creating a hashtag for like the author or something. I don't want to do that. In my other list before, I actually had a complete list of hashes, so I needed that. And basically what I'm going to do is I don't actually care what week it is. I care about what date I need to have it done by. So I'm going to say, this is week 1. When I had human rights law in week 1, I can just check my calendar and I can see that human rights law is the 21st of July for week 1, 21st of July, And I'm going to copy and paste that everywhere that it's week 1. And then it's week 2, it's going to be 7 days ahead, so plus 7 days. Copy that, paste it there, let's paste the formula, but I need the value. Yes, it's annoying that it shows up like this, don't worry too much. And then we have this, it's 7 days ahead again. The reason it's showing up stupid is because it does need to just be set as a date. Formula as a date. Cool, so 4th of the 8th. No, it's not 7 days ahead yet. It's still the same week because it's all week 3. Paste, 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 paste. I can paste the formula. I'll copy and paste that. But that's also needing to be the value. Copy that, paste that. 7 days ahead again. 7 days ahead again. And then I'm going to copy that. Same date. Again, it needs to be pasted as a value. Copy that value. And that's 7 days ahead. Oh, no, it really won't.
Not for you, unfortunately.
Oop. 7 days ahead.
Oh,
Hi. How you going?
I'm doing alright. How are you going?
Yeah, not bad.
Did you eat? I'm hungry.
Oops.
You guys didn't want to eat lunch?
Why not?
She didn't want to eat. She said I'm hungry. Alicia, did you attack a dog? Did you show the place, huh? To where the dog belongs? Did it sound like more of your place, you peasant? Huh?
Great. So now I have basically set out the dates for everything that I need. That will be the due date. As a field, to make this clear, I can basically say this is the due date. This information is actually going to be brought together later on, so we don't need to worry too much about that right now. This is the citation, as I said. So for here, we don't want to have these words and these words like literally touching one another because that's awful. So what I'm going to do is I need to add a space here. That's literally as easy as it needs to be. And I'm going to do that for like this entire row. So just double click to bring that out. So that way I have a space between that word and that word. Otherwise they will be together. Cool. So as you can see here, I do actually have something that is red. That will be something that I will need to like address in a different field. But for now, I'm going to concat the information because that's all the things that I want. I do not want to have this extra stuff. This stuff will actually appear in a note because like I said, I don't need anything else. And there may need to be a space. I'll do the same thing again. A space here and a space here. And yes, that appears to be all. So I can go equals concat, which is going to concatenate or bring these things together. And I'm going to bring these across. I do not want the read, I just want those three. Like I said, there's a space in between. So again, it won't do it because there's nothing aside it in order to drag it all the way across, so I'm going to have to drag this down by myself. So it's really just this field, which is the notes. Let's say complete. Which is a field that is basically just say it's marked off, it's already done, and then this will be, this area here, which I still need to concatenate, is going to be the subject, which is the title. So, again, we go concat, those four fields, and I'm going to bring it all the way down. So these are the things that I need. Okay. That's not all I want actually. I do want to have another field, and this one is going to say hashtag reading. Let me confirm that this is the same format as the rest because I do like to have them all the same. Yes, so hashtag reading. Hashtag reading, that's going to be this whole thing. So I'm going to adjust this I want to bring this out. I want to include that. So reading, and then it will say reading chapter, or whatever the actual title of the work is. So that's done. Now I need to basically fit it into the format that it requires. So this is basically the format template that I have extracted. The way that I did it was basically going into this Microsoft Outlook, and then in the individual program, basically what you can do is... I'm trying to do a thing.
Sorry, I'm hungry, let's go.
Just let me finish this. No, let me finish. Okay, so yes, we have these a list that I previously had that exists. Basically what I want to do is I can go File, and I can open and export. I'm going to import export. I'm going to export to a file. It will be a CSV file when I can finally get into that. It always takes a while to load here. Great, so that's done. So the comma separated values, export to a file. This didn't actually come up, I had to click, it came up. It's just a thing, little dodgy program. Comma separated values is basically an Excel spreadsheet. We're going to export. I'm going to export that list. The list is going to go into the human rights law subject. Human rights law, this is the reading list. No, it's not going to be called the import. It's going to be called human rights law, and it's going to be called, let's say, export, so that we know which is which. Finish. It takes 2 seconds. This is the date range for the values we're going to export, which is everything that's here. Export and create a series of appointments to the 1st of October. I'm actually wondering if that'll export to the last one. I'm not sure. We'll see. Also, I can navigate to that folder. Let's go to human rights law. We have the reading list here. So this is the CSV, this is it here. So this is the subject, basically what it's called. If I expand it out a little bit. The due date, yes, it didn't export the last one, so you're going to make sure that those dates cover that if you actually needed to export the information that's there. So this is a reminder that's basically to allow you to create something to flag for you, how complete it is, total work. I haven't actually ever used these other fields before. I'm just going to copy and paste them across just to make it easier. Priority is normal, it's not private, and it's just normal status, normal everything. It's not started. So, I'm actually not sure what to say for when it is complete. That will be something we'll have to look into. So, I need to put it into the format, like I said, so I'm going to go into here. I know that I need the subject. Where are we? We want the subject. I'm going to put it into the template, and it needs to be pasted as a value. So when you paste it, you just need to press Control to bring that up. Start date, we don't have a start date, we're going to start it whenever we can. Due date, we're going to do the whole list. Copy, you can press Control down, is it? Yeah, so Control Shift down will select the entire row. And so now I have the subject and the due date, and these three are the ones that I'm actually wondering whether I need to have anything specific in there. The only other thing I would need is the notes. I can have these put into the note field. I'm going to put that here. Again, it needs to be pasted as values because it was concatenating, it was a formula. And now, okay, what have we got? We have in that, so there's no reminders, 0 complete, and everything is standard. So I'll put it somewhere that hasn't been affected yet. And I've copied since the reminder on and off, which is one here, paste it into here. Which is what I'm thinking is the priority the priority, private roles, sensitivity, and status. So the status is always going to be the same. So these ones can copy up to the entire row. We'll just make sure we don't affect the top one. Whoa. And that is the last. Okay. Status is not started. Okay, my issue is I'm going to have to temporarily copy across the whether it's complete. So it's just literally the top three. Let's paste it in there. We'll have to delete this when we're done because otherwise it's going to cause an interference. Priority, normal, complete, done. Okay, so the thing that we will need to change, so it's going to be false. We're not going to have a reminder for any of these because we're just going to have to deal with it, do it ourselves. We don't want a reminder. I'm wondering if these first three, if I say they're 100% complete, and that, where is the other field? Status, I'm going to say complete. It might cause a problem. I don't know. We'll see. Total work, I don't know, let's say 0. I don't know, again, I haven't actually entered these before. I don't know what the thing is. I should basically do an export like I did show you just before to see whether it'll work, because I don't know if it will. I'm going to go all the way down. Status complete, so then everything else is not started. Sensitivity and everything is going to be the same. Whoops. Bam. And I'll delete this row because we don't need it, and it's going to cause problems. Cool, so this is done. This is the human rights law, and I'm going to save this as a CSV. So naming this is completely useless, it doesn't do anything, it's just for my own reference. I'm going to save it as, into human rights law, I'm going to save it as a CSV, which I'll never be able to see the old one, and I'm going to make sure it's called export, because I need to differentiate, like I said. Human rights law reading list, Microsoft to do, import. That's what I'm going to call it in the folder. Now, I am able to import it. So if I go into Outlook, I can then go into my reading list. Obviously there's nothing there at the moment, just as there is nothing in my human rights law reading list. So in this human rights law reading list, I can't import it in Microsoft To Do. There is currently no feature that allows us to do that. Like, we can create a new list manually, we can add a new task or a new group, whatever, but we cannot actually enter it. If you go here, you can manage accounts, sync. Under settings, there is nothing, as far as I'm aware, that can basically just say import CSV. So the workaround is what we're going to be doing, and the workaround is in here. So we go back to Outlook, File, open and export, same as we did before, the import and export, and we import from another program. So I just pause for a little bit, same as before, just click to get it back, import a file, comma separated values, which is just as a standard. We're going to browse to that import list in human rights law. Fantastic. I don't want to allow any duplicates to be created, and do not import them. We're not going to obviously replace them or anything. There currently is nothing in there, but I just don't want to cause that potential mistake. So it's called reading. I will rename it reading list when we're done. That's alright. So this isn't working because of the fact that it's currently open. So I need to ensure that that is closed. This is the export. Don't save it. I don't need to. No reason to. This is it. This is the import. The import needs to be closed because that's basically thinking that it might be adjusted and it cannot. Again, select the same thing. I keep getting interrupted. So, yes, we've selected the file. Do not duplicate. This is the reading list. See, it works fine now. So it doesn't let you basically just go next yet. There's nothing to select. It doesn't let you tick or whatever because it needs to basically select that the fields are correctly selected. So if we just click that, change destination, that's it. Open up. What the hell? I don't know if I'm supposed to be waiting or what. Yeah, okay, so the thing we need to do is basically tick the box. When we tick that box, what it does is it brings up these custom fields and stuff, and that's just to confirm exactly what's been brought across. So, like, what those headers and stuff are that we saw before. I don't have a template I can basically show you right now, but it's just to confirm. So, for instance, this is going to be the subject, and everything else is probably just going to be the exact same. That's just the order. We followed the template, so we don't need to try and reorganize what it was. So that should just work. If I hit finish, it'll import that list. Great. So it did work, and those 3 things that we basically did complete have actually been ticked off. We didn't have to say that they were done 100%. We did say that they were done 100%, and we said that they were complete. We didn't have to say a certain amount of work done or anything like that. And it will show these things in red for the things that are currently overdue, because it was 2 days ago that these were supposed to be done, and they weren't. So that's basically warning me there. And the good thing is, like, it's obviously shown here in Outlook, which is fine as is, but we want it here in Microsoft To Do. It currently doesn't show here, and the only reason is because it hasn't like refreshed. So if I close it and I open it up again, it's going to then do this loading screen at the top, which is basically just showing that it's starting to sync and import the stuff. You don't necessarily have to close and open it again. You can always just go like sync at the top, which should basically bring everything across as well. It's the same thing. So now that they're all there, you can see that there's the reading. If I click that, it's just going to show the readings for there. This is the human rights law, that's remedies and stuff underneath it as well. So you can see my entire reading list if I ever just search for that thing. So you can have other headings and stuff. I could do like a hashtag HRL, the human rights law or whatever. There's also like articles and stuff too, if I only want to see the articles that I've got there. Or vice versa, if I just go just chapters, what are the chapters I need to look at for these different classes? Yeah, so I could have done that for the other class. I had the remedies list. I don't think it's as important because everything in remedies is going to be the same. I honestly don't care. So then it's a matter of, like, it does show the due date for each of these, which is fantastic. It's exactly what we needed. And yeah, my notes are in there as well. So that's that DOI that we had if we ever needed to download it, because we do have access to that. It has been downloaded from the reading guide as well. So now that I know it's all there, and I have them ticked off as completed at the very bottom for the things that I've already done. And yeah, I'm alerted that these things are needing to be done by July. It's currently in a reverse chronological order. I imagine if you basically sorted your list inverted, it would basically do it that way, because it's probably just going like top down, and then just as it goes top down, it goes, this is the top one, this is the next one, this is the next one. It's just the importing procedure. It doesn't really matter. You'll still be able to see everything in your planned screen based on the date and stuff. Everything will basically come up there, showing you when everything is due based on that date. So yeah, that's it. Good luck.